Thank you for joining us on Sirius XM Urban View, Channel 126, where talk empowers and becomes action. I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, here to share wisdom about how to attain, maintain, and reclaim your perfect health. So join us right now on Twitter at Ask the Good Doc, on Instagram and Facebook at Ask the Good Doctor. And also, please subscribe. Yes, to my YouTube channel, to my YouTube channel. Thank you, Alexa. Ask the Good Dr. LaJoyce. And a couple of announcements. It's a new year, so helping with your commitment to being the best health you can be in, I've got 2 tools for you. Number 1, my book, The Detox Edition Remix for a Healthy New You. And number 2, A Healthy New You 1-hour phone consultation with me. I've got a special discount for you as well. Send me an email, askthegooddoctor@msn.com. And please, if you'd like to attend the Wellness Warriors Weekend Getaway, send me an email for information at askthegooddoctor@msn.com, or if you want to be a vendor. Now, in December, we had a talk with Deborah Cox and Maria Davis about HIV and AIDS because, well, it ain't over. Yep. This week is National Black HIV Testing Day because HIV and AIDS is still a thorn in the side of communities of color. And AIDS activist and Maria Davis is back with us today to have this conversation, as well as Kate Ferguson. Oh, she's here. She's the editor of Real Health magazine. Hello, ladies.
Hello, Joyce.
Hello.
LaJoyce. Why you didn't tell me about the wellness weekend? I'm your good friend. See what happens?
What? You were here last time I announced it?
Yeah, well, you didn't send me an email telling me what the dates are.
Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. Here we go, y'all. I got it. All right. Now, Kate, let's just start with you. What in the world is going on in the black community that 30-some odd years in the epidemic that it is still raging with infection rates?
Well, I think, a lot of this has to do perhaps with people getting complacent. This is a chronic illness that a lot of people think is under control. And it is not. It's far from under control. As a matter of fact, if they're not careful, and if we're not careful, a resurgence is exactly what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I think it's it's a brewing.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. There was a decline. I have to say there was a decline for between 2010 and 2015. HIV incidence among women did decrease. However, we are far from where we need to be.
Absolutely.
So what are the latest statistics, Kate?
Wow, let's see. All right, so the number of new HIV infections, 38,500. Number of people living with HIV currently, 1.1 plus million people. Percent of people infected with HIV who don't know it, 15%. And percent of people with HIV who are virally suppressed, 51%. These are, that don't know it. That one really scares me.
Oh, yes. I'll never forget being in a meeting one time and they were like, how do they come up with the percentage of the people who don't know? And I was like, Dag, that's statistics 101. Where were you? Like, the variables you do know, you come up with the variables you don't. That's how you do it. That is a shocker. And I am dismayed because with it being on the heels of National Black HIV Testing Day, this is why we do this, okay? Because people don't know their status.
Absolutely.
Maria, say more.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what the heck is wrong with our people. Because we go to the basketball games, we go to the football games, we stand in lines, but we won't stand in line for our health. And that's a problem. I think that people think... Somebody said to me today, HIV still exists? I was like,
oh my
wow.
Gosh.
They were like, nobody talks about it anymore.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I said, and we are have the highest numbers of new infections. And I understand they have PrEP out there and this and that and that and that, but people are still getting infected. So what is the problem? And I'm telling you, mental health. That's my biggest key, mental health. That, before you can accept anything in life, you have to accept who you are and how you can continue your journey. And no matter what has happened to you in life, know that you still can be okay. And until we tap into our mental health and who we truly are as a people, I think once we do that, then we'll be able to eradicate HIV and AIDS. They think it's a medicine. They think PrEP is going to do it, and that is not going to do it. Not for our people. Maybe for some other people, but for our people, it's a different journey for us. It's a different everything that we go through health-wise, because we're number one in every disparity.
Oh, yes.
So we're not even only talking about HIV and AIDS. We're talking about diabetes, high blood pressure. The person in the restaurant, they eat a whole meal and then drink a Diet Coke. Like, what is the purpose of the Diet Coke? You don't eat
which is the poison. Wait, but that's the poison.
Yeah. So, and getting healthy. I've been living with AIDS for 20 years, and I just decided to get me a personal trainer because I want to live.
Amen.
So you can live with this illness. And I don't even look at it as an illness anymore. I just look at it as part of my everyday life. And I have to maintain my health. I just turned 60.
Woo!
So through my
amazing.
40s, I thought I was going to die. Through my 50s, and I'm still here at 60. So there's clearly something else for me to do.
Absolutely.
So I want to be an actress. I'm going to do commercials.
Which is what you used to do.
Yes, because I'm cute.
She is cute. You look cute. She does not look 60. Yeah, and you're in a unique seat, Maria, on the entertainment scene as well as activism. You're still doing Maria A. Davis Mad Wednesdays.
Mad Wednesdays, that's right.
Where you feature artists and give people platforms. And, I'm so grateful for your avenue to be able to bring new artists to you over the years. Thank you for that. And yes, it's an excellent, it's a receiving audience, but it's good boot camp.
Absolutely. Good boot camp, because I do HIV testing there.
See?
Sometimes young people are like, Miss Davis, what's going on? I say, oh, you want to get tested today, boo. You ain't know that? So the same way, it's like the church. The way you walk in is not the same way you leave out. So you're going to be more informed, whether you want to be or not, because if you don't want to listen to me, you can leave. You're not going to get your money back, but you can leave. So, and the shrine is such a unique space, It's like your living room, your friends, people come from all diversities, and it's just a wonderful thing. And I try to mix the music and the health message together. Not try, but I do. So we get young men talking about, I had one young brother who was a phenomenal hip-hop artist. He was homeless with his child in the shelter. So people get to tell their stories. They're not afraid, because I'm like, I got AIDS. What you got? And so people just start talking about, hey, don't be ashamed of your journey.
That's right.
Because the test is the testimony. And if you can't talk about the test, then you can't talk about the testimony.
Sure.
And free someone else. Because what I talk about is not about me. It's about helping other people be able to talk about what it is that they're going through, and also let them know that God, I'm telling you, we done took God out of our language, but God is still in control. And if you don't believe it, but listen to me, and I'm telling you, become a believer. Know that God is in control no matter what the outside obstacles are. Stay true to God. And that's my message there. I don't care. People get upset. Oh, you talking about
what you get upset for? No, you listen. This is free zone here. I mean, look at me. I call myself God's girl.
That's right.
Because,
you sure do.
That's right. I mean, I was married to a man who had full-blown AIDS who did not tell me. And there are so many red flags, and this conversation could just go on and on and on. Yes, and when I speak, to women, when I go speaking places, we freely have the open conversation about all of the red flags, and some stuff just shouldn't be said on radio, okay? And all of the things that we should be mindful of. And one of them is that in some states, you don't require a blood test anymore.
Yes.
To get married, and we were married in Illinois, so it did not require a blood test in the state of Illinois in 1990. Had we gotten married in New York State, I would have made the discovery.
Does New York? I don't think New York State does blood tests anymore. Because I've asked a couple of my friends that got married, and they said they did not have to do a blood test.
Isn't that something?
So I have several friends, and I asked them. They were like, "No, we don't."
So these are things that you need to require for yourself
before you get married. Right? Hello.
Because trust and belief. Well, listen. Before you swap spit, you need to swap information. You need to be getting tested. You need to be getting tested someplace.
Absolutely.
They have the 20-minute rapid test, and Deborah Fraser Howes is going to be joining us later in the program. And she worked and was the senior global vice president at Orasure, which is the company that created the rapid swab tests. And Kate, why do you think that people have an aversion to being tested or knowing their status?
I think sometimes people may not want to know. Strange as that might sound.
No, it's not strange. It's the truth.
Yeah, if they know, then they have to take the next step, and they have to do something about it. So that might make them a little uncomfortable.
Listen, I don't care. Listen, and you should not care about anyone's comfortability when you are talking about your health and your life. I'm telling you, don't let a man or woman put their mouths on you until you produce a piece of paper that we go and get together. We go and get the test together. If it's the right thing, it could be foreplay. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But I also want to say, just as much as it takes work for me to maintain myself, even though I'm positive, you should be doing the same kind of work to stay negative.
Hit the microphone. Sorry.
Yep.
Listen, my job, when I found out my husband was positive, my job was to stay negative.
Absolutely.
Okay? And number one, I knew he brushed his teeth and his teeth bled, so you don't get kissed anymore, not like we used to. Okay? End of story. Even though they say there are no tests conclusively that prove that you could transmit, I know there's blood. So you don't get kissed.
That's right.
Not
Universal
with an open
precaution.
Universal precaution. And it's not a condom that leaks, expires, and must be kept at room temperature. Just saying. I'm not saying that a latex condom won't protect you, because it can. I personally am allergic to latex. All right? But if it leaks, expires, and must be kept at room temperature, you cannot put your faith in it 100%. Absolutely. Not 100%. Not 100. They're not even 100% effective if the temperature is right and if it doesn't break.
That's right.
Yeah.
They say that on the pack. Y'all better read the fine print.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you know what room temperature is? Okay, it's 68 to 72 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So that condom that you have in your glove compartment, young man, is no longer good on a cold night or on a hot night, on a hot day. And if it's in your wallet, it's not good. All that friction in your wallet. It's a wrap.
And people don't know to check the expiration. I'm like, you taking a condom from me, you didn't even, I'm going to make you responsible. If I give you a condom, I don't care if I'm the condom lady in the church. If I give you a condom, the first thing you should do is check the expiration date. Because I might not have my glasses on that day. I might have gave you a condom from 2018 that was, left in the back of the bag that I didn't see, that it was in the back of the bag.
It's true.
So that's on you to check your expiration date.
Yes. All of it, our health is our personal responsibility.
And your wealth.
There you go.
You can't buy it. It's
at all
impossible. Yeah,
at
I
all.
agree.
It is impossible. For a few questions and a swab of your mouth cheek? Seriously? You don't want to know? This is why we have a National Black HIV Testing Day, to make the awareness. And even if you did not get tested on that day,
that's right,
get tested. Especially if you know you are a sexually active person and you're running around here and you don't know your status.
Absolutely.
Come on, y'all. We have a collective responsibility to stop it. And you know what's going crazy right now? College campuses.
With STDs.
STD
and STDs are a precursor into HIV.
Precursor to HIV. And it's from Arizona State to Howard University. Every college is a problem. Just in my little small town in East Stroudsburg, at East Stroudsburg University, 1 in every 2 students, a few years back, 1 in every 2 students had an STD. What? That's 50%. It was going around like wildfire. And
then a couple of years ago, the numbers for HIV for college students became very high.
Very high as well.
Because I work with HASA. And
I'm sorry, who?
HASA. That is what is HASA? They used to be called DAS. What is it?
It's
HIV AIDS services. It's something else.
Okay.
So I was just honored by them in December. But my girlfriend is a supervisor there that I grew up with, and she said that they had to make a specific unit for college students who had HIV, because it is very different. An older person finds out that they have contracted HIV than it is for a college student who is just beginning their life.
Kate, what do you see statistically with the younger people in terms of the new pills that are out, thinking that now they're invincible and they don't need to get tested because now they've got these pills, the PrEP, whatever?
Yeah, well, actually, there's a lot of people that aren't even aware that PrEP exists.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you say that they have the pill or anything like that. It's like they don't even know that this pill exists. That's one of the big areas that they're trying to, initiatives from the pharma companies, they're trying to make people aware that PrEP exists. And then there's stigma. So if you're popping pills, because, you're trying to make sure that you're okay, people's eyebrows might get raised. So stigma is still very,
it's huge.
It's huge, and that's one of the things that we have to overcome. The stigma, the feeling that, all eyes are upon you, and they're not thinking too well of you. So your health, you have to protect it.
Yes.
So
Maria, what do you say about the PrEP and the PEP?
Y'all have pharmaceuticals, Gilead listening? I personally find it very crazy that you are not HIV positive, but you take a HIV medication so you can stay HIV negative. That is, I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Wait.
PrEP is an HIV medication that people with HIV take. It's Truvada. Now they have the new Descovy, but do not take Descovy because they tell you in the commercial that they haven't tested on women.
Really?
Oh!
So that's why with the new Descovy, did you see the new commercial? They have trans women and gay men in the Descovy commercial. And they tell you, if you're a woman, we have not tested Descovy on women.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Truvada is an HIV medication.
Yes.
But they are prescribing it for people who want to stay HIV negative.
Yes.
Why? That sounds like some conspiracy survival of the fittest mess.
And now they got a new one. My doctor told me they call it PrEP on demand for those that don't want to take it all the time. So you take it a day before you know you're going to party and have wild sex. I guess that's what it is. And then you take it 2 days after that. So for those that don't want to take PrEP at all times, I said, y'all just making new ways for people to, come on now.
To live la vida loca.
Yeah. But what about the responsibility and accountability that you need to have for yourself? You can't pop a pill every time there's an epidemic. That's crazy. How do you stay healthy? You're gonna have HIV because with that PrEP comes a responsibility. You have to go to the doctor every 3 months. You have to be HIV negative. They have to test your liver. They have to test your kidneys. So you're gonna do all of that because you want to have some sex with somebody. Come on now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Just say the truth, honey.
I'm just saying. I mean, I feel that as you should feel like more love for yourself than wanting to take. It's between the HIV medication and not getting HIV, or loving myself and not getting HIV. Which one? Loving myself and not getting HIV, I don't get kidney infection, maybe kidney problems and liver problems, and then I can get rid of that man. But taking a medication, you're still at risk too, because people don't know you have to use condoms with PrEP. People are using PrEP without I said, what? Don't get me started.
I want you to be started. Because these are the conversations that people are not having enough of. And we are constantly halting them in the interest of all kinds of reasons that don't even make sense, because nothing is more important than saving a life. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about saving a life. I mean, I put mine between the two covers so that people could read it and they wouldn't fall into those trappings. And that was in 1990. It's been enough. That's enough. That, I think that people feel invincible.
Like it's not one of the things. It's not going to happen to me. Absolutely.
That is so false.
Absolutely.
It's a false sense of security. It's bravado. It's beyond machismo. It's foolish. It's like the kids say, you reckless.
Mm-hmm.
It's reckless behavior.
But everybody wants everything instantly now. So you don't want to take care of yourself, so you rather take a pill because it takes time and brain work and tapping into your emotions and who you are to be able to abstain. Nobody wants to do that. They want to take a pill so that they can get what they got to get done quickly. But at the end of the day, you still have to look yourself in the mirror. You have to do the work inside. It's called inner fitness. That's why I have a book. I'm in a book club. I'm reading this book by this woman named Tina Lifford. She's on what's the Queen Sugar, and she has a book called The Little Book of Big Lies, and she talks about inner fitness and those little things we were told when we were children. You're not going to be nothing. Your daddy wasn't nothing. Your mama was, and we internalize those and bring them into our adulthood. So her brother had passed away, died of an overdose, and she said if her brother could have read this book. You have to do the work. She talks about meditation. She talks about going and laying on the couch and talking to a counselor, a mental health counselor, a psychologist, somebody you got to work on you. You can't escape that.
Listen, and if you don't, what's happening and will continue to happen, people will die.
Absolutely.
And we are trying our greatest effort. We are making every attempt to reach you. So, Maria, how can people reach you?
DavisMaria@MSN.com or MariaSpeaksOut@gmail.com.
Right.
Or come by the Shrine every third Wednesday of the month.
In New York City.
In New York City. That's what I forgot. You have listeners all over the world. You big time, LaJoyce. All right, excuse me, Dr. LaJoyce, the good doctor.
Thank you, darling. Kate, how can people get Real Health Magazine? And you all also do pause.
Yes, we do. We do pause. And that is our flagship. So that is the magazine for HIV positive people.
Okay.
People living with HIV. I can be reached at realhealthmag.com.